Good morning, Sheriff Todd Delane with the Brown County Sheriff's Office, DELAIN.
Chris, CHRIS Davis, DAVIS, Chief of Police, City of Green Bay.
Hello, Carl Krull, K-A-R-L-K-R-U-L-L, and I am the Program Manager for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Todd Radabaugh, T-O-D-D-R-A-D-A-B-A-U-G-H. I'm the Boating Under the Influence Program Manager for NASBLA.
Master Chief Chris Zahn, Z-A-H-N. I'm the officer in charge of Coast Guard Station Sturgeon Bay.
Perfect. And then everyone who's speaking, I think they already told you, but I'll just go ahead and go up in between and introduce you so everybody knows where to go. Anyone have any questions? Thank you guys all so much for being here. We're really excited to be here and be doing this. So thanks for having us. And we'll get started in 3 minutes.
You're all good? Oh, good to go?
No, I'm excited. You want to test?
Live stream. It may be better to pick it up over this.
Over what? Okay, whatever you think. Oh, there's it. Yeah, let's rock. All right, everyone ready?
Set? Good?
Well, good morning. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day today to attend the National Kickoff Media Event for the annual Operation Dry Water campaign. My name is Matt O'Brien, Deputy Chief Conservation Warden with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, Division of Public Safety and Resource Protection. Welcome to the representatives from the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators, the U.S. Coast Guard, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and two of our valued Wisconsin partners, the Brown County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Green Bay Police Department. I also want to welcome those here at the South Bay Marina in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin, and all of those attending virtually via our live stream. As you're going to hear and see in the next half hour or so, the effort to ensure safe, exciting, and fun boating experiences for all is truly a national effort involving team collaboration at every level, including our public who share our safety mission. This morning you'll hear the speakers highlight the history and ongoing efforts to keep impaired boating operators off our waters here in Wisconsin and across the nation. You'll hear the extraordinary history of Operation Drywater, which puts thousands of federal, state, and local officers on the water conducting proactive outreach and education while keeping vigilant for dangerous operators whose risky behavior endangers everyone. Wisconsin is water. In addition to the Great Lakes, Superior, and Michigan, we have more than 15,000 inland lakes and impoundments and over 84,000 miles of streams and rivers. Our residents love water fun, and so do the millions of visitors who view Wisconsin as a destination state. We want our recreational boaters and paddlers to have fun on Wisconsin's waters and return home with exciting stories. We make it known for our zero tolerance for boating under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. And the DNR has incredible partners in this effort to keep boating and paddling fun and safe. A few of those partners are here today. You'll hear from the U.S. Coast Guard, Brown County Sheriff's Office, and the Green Bay Police Department. I cannot overstate the pride I have in the teamwork and positive working relationships amongst our agencies to deliver safe waterways and abundant recreational opportunities to our public. The mission of Operation Drywater is not just one weekend here in Wisconsin. Whenever there are waters with recreators, our safety mission is on, week in and week out. Because safety is part of the fun here, and sober operators get their vessels home safely. Safe experiences make for the best memories. I'd like to call to the podium the Chief Operating Officer of the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators, Taylor Kershey.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Warden O'Brien. I also want to thank South Bay Marina for hosting us today and the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources for coordinating this event in partnership with us. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the 2025 Operation Drywater National Kickoff event. My name is Taylor Kershey, and I am the Chief Operating Officer for the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators, or NASBLA. NASBLA is a national nonprofit organization that represents the recreational boating authorities in all 56 U.S. states and territories, including the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. We've gathered here today to raise awareness about the preventable crime of boating under the influence and to share what we are doing nationally to educate boaters and prevent impaired boating incidents. Alcohol continues to be the leading known contributing factor in recreational boating fatalities and a major factor in boating incidents. We are also seeing a rise in incidents involving drug impairment. To address this issue, NASBLA launched the Operation Drywater campaign in 2009 in partnership with the U.S. Coast Guard. Operation Drywater is a year-round campaign focused on heightened awareness and enforcement of boating under the influence laws. Its primary goal is to reduce alcohol and drug-related incidents and fatalities on our nation's waterways. Each year, the campaign culminates in a national 3-day heightened awareness and enforcement weekend, during which law enforcement agencies focus on identifying and removing impaired boaters from the water and educating the public about the dangers of boating under the influence. This year, the Operation Drywater Weekend will take place Friday, July 4th through Sunday, July 6th, timed around the 4th of July holiday, which is unfortunately associated with a high number of impaired boating incidents and fatalities. Law enforcement agencies from all 56 U.S. states and territories, along with the U.S. Coast Guard, will participate in Operation Drywater. Their officers will work to detect impaired operators, remove them from the water, and educate boaters on the risks of operating or even riding on a vessel while impaired. While many understand the dangers of impairment for vessel operators, alcohol use by passengers is also extremely hazardous. Research shows that impairment puts passengers at risks of fall overboard, injuries, and fatalities, even when the operator is sober. For everyone's safety, we encourage all passengers and operators to choose to stay sober while on the water. Since the campaign's inception, more than 7,400 impaired operators have been removed from the water during Operation Dry Water weekends. Additionally, law enforcement officers have made contact with more than 3.1 million boaters as part of the outreach and education efforts. Eliminating alcohol and drug use on the water is vital to a safe boating environment, just like wearing a life jacket, using an engine cutoff switch, and completing a boating safety course prior to hitting the water. To highlight the importance of these safety measures, I'd now like to welcome Sheriff Todd Delane from the Brown County Sheriff's Office.
Well, good morning, everyone. As we head into the busy 4th of July weekend, I want to take a moment to speak to you about something that's critical to all of us, and that's boater safety. This weekend, we know our waterways will be full of families, friends, and visitors looking to enjoy the beauty of Wisconsin's rivers and lakes, especially the Fox River and in larger bodies of water like the Bay of Green Bay and Lake Michigan. And while we welcome everyone to experience these incredible natural resources, we want to make sure everyone goes home safely. We are proud to participate in Operation Dry Water, a national initiative led by the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators. The goal is simple: to reduce the number of alcohol and drug-related boating incidents. This campaign highlights a vital truth. Operating a vessel while intoxicated is one of the greatest risks to everyone on the water. So, if you're heading out this weekend, have a plan. Designate a sober operator, prepare ahead of time, and don't put yourself or others in harm's way. In addition to the dangers of impaired boating, I want to remind everyone that weather conditions, especially on large bodies of water like the Bay of Green Bay, can rapidly change. Strong winds and high waves can develop quickly, making boating conditions dangerous. Don't wait. Stay alert. Stay ahead of the conditions and be a sober boat operator. Know the waterway that you're operating. We know the depths of the water can change quickly, even on the bay. Ensure that you are wearing your life jackets and have a way to communicate with others, whether that's through your marine radio or by a cell phone. And if it is by a cell phone, remember, if you're out a long period of time, have that charger or battery pack. Watching your speed is important. It allows you to better maneuver your vessel, helping to prevent crashes and avoiding persons from being thrown overboard. Most of our serious incidents that we respond to here in Brown County involve a condition of the combination of alcohol use and dangerous weather or wave conditions. These are preventable tragedies. We are counting on every boater to do their part to make this a safe holiday weekend and summer. Starting today, law enforcement patrol boats will be out across the area, not just to enforce the law, but to assist anyone in need. We're here to help ensure people have a safe, fun, and memorable time on the water. I'd like to extend a sincere thank you to our boating safety and enforcement partners, including the Green Bay Police Department, Green Bay Metro Fire Department, other local fire departments like New Franken and Swamico, who are always willing to help us assist with boating rescues. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, thank you to our wonderful wardens. and of course our federal partners, the United States Coast Guard. We have a strong and dedicated team here in Wisconsin, working together to protect our waterways and everyone who enjoy them. Thank all of you for coming out today to get our messaging out about boating safety, and a very, very special thank you to the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators. On behalf of all of us, I wish you a safe and joyful 4th of July weekend. Let's celebrate responsibly, take care of each other, and make this a great holiday weekend on the water. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Delane. Now I invite Chief Chris Davis of the Green Bay Police Department to share his perspective on Operation Drywater's impact here in the Green Bay community.
Well, thank you, and good morning, everyone. And it's important to us in the city of Green Bay, given the fact that about 5 square miles of our jurisdiction is actually water, to be part of efforts like this to keep our waterways safe. You know, here in Northeast Wisconsin, we are blessed with tremendous natural resources, and it's great for all of us who live in this part of the state to get out and enjoy those resources, but we want to make sure people are able to do so safely. And, you know, just in the same way that we work to keep our roadways free from impaired drivers of motor vehicles, we work to keep our waterways free of impaired boaters. And really, under the law, there's no difference between those two things. Drunk boating is drunk driving, and the consequences are the same, and they can be pretty significant. But as bad as an arrest or a citation is for boating under the influence, it'll be even worse if you or someone you care about or someone else on the water experiences a tragedy because of bad decisions. So that's why we join with all of our other partners this time of year to remind people how important it is to have a sober boat operator. And, you know, as we've heard from some of the earlier speakers, even consider just not bringing alcohol altogether and keeping everyone safe, because impaired passengers can be at increased risk of falling overboard or experiencing injuries as well. And so our goal for this event, along with all of our partners, is to promote that safe, responsible behavior and those good decisions on the water and prevent tragedies so that everybody goes home safe with good memories. You will see increased patrols beginning this weekend from our agency and our partner policing and law enforcement agencies in Northeast Wisconsin, and we're here to enforce those rules and to help educate the public about what they can do to be safer on the water. We're committed to doing everything that we can do in the Green Bay Police Department to keep our community safe, and that includes out in the neighborhoods, on our streets, and on our waterways, and so we're proud to join in this effort. And so with that, I wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. Remember, don't drink and operate a boat. Put that life jacket on. It's not doing you any good if it's on the seat next to you, and enjoy the holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Davis. NASBL's mission is to support and strengthen the state's ability to reduce recreational boating incidents and fatalities, and to help foster a safe culture, responsible and enjoyable boating nationwide. In 2022, NASBL formed a formal partnership with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to work together towards eliminating impaired operation on both the water and the road. It's critical to remember, drunk boaters on the water often become drunk drivers at the boat ramp. Together, NASBL and MAD are working to keep recreational boaters and the law enforcement officers who protect them safe through coordinated education, awareness, and enforcement efforts. Next, I'd like to introduce Carl Kroll from Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Hello, I'm Carl Kroll. I'm the program manager for the state of Wisconsin for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. MAD was founded in 1980 by a mom who lost her 13-year-old daughter to a drunk driver. And I just want to highlight that each of the stories you hear about the tragedies, there are real people behind those statistics, real victims. There are family members who are not going to be, families who aren't going to be whole after a crash. It'll take a lifetime to recover, not only for a family, but friends and a community. Wisconsin in 2023 lost 186 people in impaired driving crashes. It's 186 people who don't get to go home because someone made the decision to drive drunk. These crashes on the water and on the road are 100% preventable. If you do not consume alcohol and if you do consume alcohol, don't get behind the wheel of a car with the wheel of a boat, you're keeping yourself safe, you're keeping your family safe. Impaired drivers and boaters aren't only a danger to themselves or their passengers, they're a danger to everyone on the road, everyone on the waterway. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Now I'd like to welcome NASBLA's Boating Under the Influence Program Manager, Todd Radabaugh, to discuss the importance of BUI training and recent developments in detection and enforcement.
Operation Drywater started in 2009 as an educational outreach effort for both law enforcement and the public. What I'd like to remind operators out there, impaired boating is 100% preventable. It's a choice. It's not an accident. So have a plan. Don't allow yourself to become impaired while you're out on the water. But if you make the choice to operate while impaired, NASBLA's mission is to equip officers to make informed arrest, no arrest decisions out on the water, to be able to prevent those 186 deaths before they occur. We can't measure the crashes that we prevent by detecting these operators before they're involved in a crash, but that's our mission. And to that effect, in 2010, working with the U.S. Coast Guard, NASBLA had a battery of seated standardized field sobriety tests validated by the Southern California Research Institute. This is the very same organization that validated the standing standardized field sobriety tests that most of you are probably aware of. What was important with these tests, they revolutionized maritime law enforcement because no longer do I have to bring you back to the shore and administer the walk and turn or the one-leg stand. We have tests that officers can use on the boat to make very informed arrest, no arrest decisions. The criteria were the tests had to be simple. Boating is a very dynamic environment. We can't just pull the car over to the shoulder and get the operator out. Things are moving. So the tests had to be very simple for the officer to administer. They had to be seated, obviously, because in a boat we want the subjects sitting down so there's less chance of them slipping or falling in our vessel. These tests had to be accurate. They had to allow officers to make accurate arrest, no arrest decisions while they were out on the water, and they also could not take equilibrium into account. So after validating several tests and looking at several tests that might be suitable for the boat, the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, the finger to nose test, the palm pat test, and the hand coordination test were validated and found to be a very accurate and reliable indicator of impairment out on the water. NASBLA's mission is to equip as many trainers as we can to get this information to our law enforcement partners in the field, like I said, so they can prevent these 100% preventable crimes from happening. There will be an opportunity today out on the water to actually see how these tests work in a boat, and I would encourage you to take that opportunity and just see how simple they are. That's the goal. If you are an operator and can hear my voice, have a plan. Don't allow yourself to become impaired. A passenger, protect yourself. Alcohol and other drugs can impair your ability to move around in that boat and protect your own life and make good decisions. So have a plan. Boat safe, boat sober.
Thank you, Todd. The U.S. Coast Guard is a key partner in Operation Drywater, and I'm pleased to introduce Master Chief Chris Zahn of the U.S. Coast Guard to speak about their role in this nationwide campaign.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful day. As a Coast Guard, we are often recognized for search and rescue, but there's another way in which we save lives, by keeping intoxicated boaters off the water. This weekend and all summer, crews will be patrolling here in northeast Wisconsin and all over the country with the goal of keeping impaired boaters off the water. Boating under the influence is one of the deadliest and yet most preventable dangers we face on our waterways. Alcohol is a leading contributing factor in fatal boating accidents. And unlike driving a car, where road markings and stop signs guide your way, operating a vessel requires sharper judgment, faster reflexes, in a dynamic environment with no lanes and no brakes. Alcohol impairs balance, coordination, and reaction time. But on the water, the effects are made even worse, with sun, wind, vibration, and motion sickness, turning even 1 or 2 drinks into a major safety risk. And when things go wrong on the water, they go wrong fast. The consequences of boating under the influence can be devastating. Collisions, violent groundings, capsizings, and drownings are all tragedies that occur far too often. So today, we're telling boaters the same safety messages, the standard safety message we give out. Wear a life jacket. Check the weather conditions before you go out. Let someone know on shore know your plans, and keep a charged cell phone or marine radio with you. And the one thing that you can absolutely control, stay sober. Leave the drinks for when you're back on dry land. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the water.
Thank you, Master Chief Zahn. We greatly appreciate your partnership and support of Operation Drywater. Before we close, I want to extend a special thank you to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources for hosting this year's National Operation Drywater Kickoff event. We are incredibly grateful for the time and effort your staff and officers have dedicated to making this event possible, and for the work you'll be doing throughout the weekend. I also want to recognize all the Operation Drywater partners and participating agencies across the country and those that are here with us again today. Your commitment to promoting safe boating practices, coordinating activities, working patrols, and supporting this campaign is vital. Your efforts make a real difference. You save lives, and you help ensure that everyone can enjoy a safe and responsible time on the water. On behalf of NASBLA, thank you again to our partners and to all of you for joining us today. At this time, I'd be happy to take any questions. If there are no questions, I'll turn it back over to Deputy Chief Warden O'Brien for closing remarks and final event logistics. Thank you again for being here.
Well, thank you so much to everyone who attended. Behind us, we've got a world-class public safety community here in Northeast Wisconsin. And what's neat is I know that this community exists throughout our state. Beyond Wisconsin's borders, we've got the same community in each of our 50 states, where our citizens really should be proud that they've got a great public safety team between their local, state, and federal partners to help them have enjoyable and memorable weekends. We're going to have a demonstration here behind us for anybody that wants to see the seated field sobriety test battery. We've also got some opportunity for some ride-alongs if folks want to head out onto the water for a bit. And I really do want to say thank you to all those in attendance, say thanks to the media for being here, helping us to get our message out, and to all the members of the public who help reshare this message, whether you've got a child or a spouse or grandparents or friends, anything you can do to help share our positive safety messaging helps to ensure that we can get everybody home safe this weekend. So thanks Green Bay, thanks Wisconsin, thanks to our national partners. Have a good, enjoyable, and safe 4th of July weekend.
Nobody heard from 5 minutes ago.